Good morning and welcome to What's New with Mike and Jeff. Apparently, I'm not good at clicking buttons. I clicked all the wrong buttons at the beginning of the show, and things just started backwards. So
Well,
let's just go with that trend today. And
we're gonna do the intro on the way out. Remember that.
I'm going to do the intro on the way out and see how many people get confused like they're watching the show backwards. We do apologize for the late start. Technical difficulties happen. Life happens. And we were really busy trying to solve the world's problems.
And everybody knows we do that part of the show, but we have some serious problems to deal with today. So.
Yeah. Just to be aware, I've had internet issues all week. I have Cox Communications, so if you live in Arizona, is Cox global? Are they out in your area?
Well, they're the cable companies years ago divided the country up into sections.
Okay, so
Cox is on your end, your side. Mine is Comcast on this.
Comcast. Okay, Comcast is out here, but very limited, and I think it's more satellite based.
Well, Comcast is Xfinity and Comcast are the same thing.
Okay, but I've had my internet go out twice. Hey, good morning. Sorry, Joe. You got like 20 minutes to sleep in, buddy.
Yeah, my guy we actually didn't talk once this week. Normally we usually exchange a text or something.
Well, believe it or not, I've been super busy all week. So last weekend was a grand success for Andy and I's adventure into it's called Junk in the Trunk.
Right.
And we actually picked up 2 new pieces of furniture.
Oh, fantastic. Good.
I got a game table. An actual game table, and she got a modified China hutch for her Legos. So, you know what a China hutch is, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What people have started doing is taking the top portion of the China cabinet off, putting feet on it, and making it just a lower half display cable or display case. And they actually look really, really nice. The one she got is all painted up and it looks nice, and it wasn't expensive at all. It was like $250.
Right.
You can't get IKEA bookcase things. Like you can get some, but depending on what you're buying, but they're even expensive. And the people delivered it to our house for free. And it's oak. It's not cheap.
It's not pressed wood or particle board.
No, it's like it was hard for me. Like they just came and put it in our garage. They didn't put it in our house.
But still, something.
So they just dropped it in the garage, and then Andy and I had to get it into the house, and I had to work. And you know me, I'm like, boy, that was a lot of work. So I had to literally get it to the door, get 2 of the feet into the house, and put them on sliders.
Right.
And then pick it up. She had to drive it, and I had to slide it into the house. I was breathing heavy afterwards, but it looks gorgeous in the house. I'll have to, once she gets it done. Right now, that's what I've been doing all week. Is we've disrupted our home, which stressed all the animals out. If you ever want to stress your animals out, just move stuff around your house.
Yeah,
they don't like that. So we got that in. We had to move all of our other China cabinets. This is 8 China cabinets in our house. Well, some of them are really narrow China, but they're still considered China cabinets.
Yep.
And then I got a game table now. So I had to get rid of my old table and put in the game table. Now it's not game table. It's not miniatures game table, but it's going to become a miniatures game table. It is a backgammon chess table.
Ooh.
So it's 42 by 42 square.
Right.
And then you have a 29 by 29 lid inside of it. Mm-hmm. And good morning, Aaron. Yeah. Nice to see you, buddy. Yeah. And the lid covers the backgammon board, and on the back of the lid is the chessboard. I don't know if you've ever seen something like that before. Yeah. But it's not an antique. It's, and by no way stretch of the imagination is an antique. It's more of a probably 2000s-ish. It is solid wood. It's not press board. But it was made in Malaysia. So that's like the manufacturing hub for a lot of wood furniture. Right. The staining underneath is terrible. Like they stain the tops and the sides real good, but then the other side's all yuck.
Right.
It's bolted on. But
so you found the foundation for what will be your game table.
correct. Well, and it's kind of because it's got a sunken base.
Yeah.
Well, all I got to do, like the backgammon board has like ridges on the inside for the dice and the movement and all this stuff. I don't know how to play backgammon. Never played it. Don't know how to play
Fun
it.
game. Fun game.
I don't know anything about it. I know you roll dice and move things.
They're almost like checker pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, but like not my place.
No, it's fun. It's a fun game, but I understand. I didn't understand it until my ex-wife taught me how to play it.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get a piece of 1/4-inch thick MDF.
Right.
I told the lady what I was gonna do at the game. I'm like, hey, look, I have no interest in backgammon, but I'm gonna put a piece of wood inside here and just use it as like a board game table.
Sure.
And so she threw in a piece of felt, like a green piece of felt that I could use to wrap a piece of wood, put a piece of wood inside of there.
Oh, wow.
And now I'll have just like a green felt surface. So it'll be gaming like it's 1980s. Remember back in the day, like we didn't, I don't know if you younger folks would know this, but back in the day, we did not have these really fancy printed game mats with CNET. No, we had green felt, and that's what we laid on our tables, and then we just put train on.
I would lay books on the table and then put the green felt over the books to kind of give it some kind of contrast. Yeah.
So she's doing it. So I'm just gonna get a piece of wood, put it on there, and that's gonna be the base. I thought about taking the ridges, take the backgammon board out and just put in a new piece of wood but I'm like, you know what, let's just keep it. Maybe one day I'll want to learn how to play backgammon, maybe. And I don't want to it's still a nice piece of furniture, so I'd hate to destroy it, because once I do that, it's no longer that. It becomes what I make it into, and
absolutely
there's no reason to. Like, I don't see a reason to. There's enough depth where if I put a board game in there, I can easily just put the top back on. My cats can't knock everything around, which that's really the reason I need to.
Absolutely. Well, that's one of the things about repurposing something to kind of fit your needs.
Yeah. Heron, as soon as I get the piece of wood, I went out looking for the wood this weekend. Unfortunately, I can't find a size of wood big enough as without buying a full sheet of wood. So I had to buy the whole sheet of wood, and I didn't have time to deal with it. I'm like, look, I need a piece that's 29 by 29, because that's the inside dimensions of the thing, 29 by 29.
Yeah.
So I need to not be lazy and just go buy the whole sheet of wood and just have a big sheet of plywood sitting in the back of my house.
With all the projects you have going on, it may not be a bad. You can buy half sheets, can't you?
I don't think I can at Home Depot. I think I got to buy a whole sheet.
Now I know they have some of the plywood where they've got the one side sanded.
Yes.
And they have those in like half sheets and quarter sheets.
Out here, they're selling them 2x4s, 2 feet by 4 feet boards.
Right.
I'll have to ask them if they would cut one in half and sell me a half a sheet.
They probably would still want to sell you the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I know they'll cut them for you. I haven't cut all.
Yeah, they cut them to size at Home Depot, and I've had that done before too. Especially when I buy the really thick MDF to build actual game, like the tables we built over at Darren's shop. By the cut like that type of wood, that thick, I would use them to cut it because my table saw can't handle it. Yeah. But it's buying the whole sheet of wood, and wood's not cheap anymore. I don't know if you know that. Yeah. Wood is really expensive. So like a full sheet's going to cost me a pretty penny. So that's why I was hoping they were selling smaller sheets. Like maybe they were selling half sheets, like a 4x4. Because wood usually comes 4x8. They aren't. But I'm going to once I get it done, I will take photos and post it on the Discord, because I am getting interested in Mordheim.
Oh yeah, we talked about that a little bit this morning too.
Yeah.
Mordheim's a good game.
It's an interesting game. I didn't know the history of Mordheim.
Did they? I'm excited because there was a recent article about the return of Battlefield Gothic. So
I saw that and I was like,
there's a rumor,
but like we know how the rumor mill works.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, with a lot of the rumors for GW, as far as product coming down the road, most of the rumors do end up coming,
Well, and it would make sense with Legion Imperialis, that Battlefleet Gothic, but which direction are they going to go? We'll have to wait and see. Because will it be a 30K version of Battlefleet Gothic so that they can run those? Remember the back in the day running those big epic campaign games where you do Battlefleet Gothic, you do a little bit of epic, you do a little bit of kill team ish type game, skirmish game, or battles. Like you would scale the 30K is the campaign style,
gigantic Legion against Legion kind of game.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if that comes to fruition. Well, I'm excited to see what happens.
Well, there was a topic that I meant to talk to you about this morning before the show. We never got to because they had all the other things going on.
What was that?
I have a car.
I know we've talked about this, but where are you at with the car?
That car has license plates on it.
Oh my God! Welcome to adulthood.
I know. I feel like a full-grown boy.
Full-grown boy. You got your big boy pants on.
I do. The problem.
Do you like shuffle your pants when you walk out?
I do. The problem with those is I bought. I mean, it's
good morning, Jake.
It's a beater car. I mean, it's a car point A to point B. But I got the tags on it, got everything done. I got to take it to get it inspected. So I was running around doing a lot of stuff with it, and then the engine oil light came on.
Uh-oh.
And that, of course, if you know anything about mechanics, about when that light comes on, you stop.
Yeah.
Because that's a bad thing. And I got to looking at it, and I was watching it, and the light would flicker, it would go on and off, it would do all sorts of weird things. And there's a point with me that I get to that F it stage.
Right.
And I was about 10 miles from home. I wish it was an A2 DeLorean.
We all want one.
But there's a point with me that's like, this is I wasn't going to have it towed home because the light came on. So I said, I'm about 10 miles from home. I just said, heck with it. And I drove it. And I said, if it's going to seize, it's going to seize. And it didn't. So I'm led to believe, and after conversations with my brother and a couple other guys and other mechanics, and my mechanical background, I think the sending unit's just going bad.
Once you said flickering, that immediately went, that sounds like something else.
Yeah, but that was also what prompted me to go, something, if that light comes on, stays on, and I drive 10 miles and it doesn't seize, then it's something else.
Well, and you can check the oil. Even
I did. I checked. I got out the minute that light came on. Followed my dad's instructions. Pulled off the side of the road. Checked it out. Oil was fine. And the other thing, temperature gauge was right where it should be.
Right.
And I thought, well, okay. And I got back in it, and the light didn't come on. Got out on the freeway. Light came on. Light went off. Light came on. Light flickered. I said, heck with it. And I just went full speed, and I drove 10 miles and said, if it's gonna blow, it's gonna blow.
Yeah. Joe goes, when the light comes on, I call Timmy. That's not an option.
I can call Timmy all day long, but he ain't coming to fix this one. There was a day where I told the story on the show before that Tim and I were playing a game of 40K while we were flushing the radiator of my truck in the back. We had the back door of the store open and a hose going out to my truck. We were flushing the radiator because Tim and I, between turns, would go out and work on the truck a bit and then come back and play a couple of turns and go. It was awesome. It was fantastic. But I can call Timmy, but he's not.
And Jake's asking, and I guess we're all kind of wanting to know, what kind of car is it? Even though you said it's not a great car.
It's a 2006 Dodge Stratus.
I don't know nothing about the Stratus, so.
It's basically like an Impala or a Malibu. It's a sedan.
Yeah.
I got a 4-door. It's in decent shape. Not a lot of rust, which for here, a car that old is usually good.
Yeah, that's not something we worry about out here in Arizona. We worry about dry rot.
I put some tires on the back of it. I got to put 2 more on the front.
Yeah.
But it's just a point. It's basically a point A and B car that I can go get groceries and do other things. So I've got the bike.
But in your climate, the bike is limited.
The bike is limited, yes.
Yeah.
But it's I'm finally mobile. But yeah, that not like so. I was like when it came on, I'm like, this is just my luck.
Hey, just to let you know, I've been driving with the check engine light on my Hummer for probably 4 months now.
Yeah. The check engine lights they don't bother me because they could be anything from your gas cap not being on properly to something major. But when that oil light comes on,
that's a different story.
That's a different story. It's like, okay, wait a minute, hold on.
Well, and I know why my check engine light's on. It can't be fixed. And Timmy's even looked at it and he's like, yeah, we can't fix it. Just leave it the hell alone.
My check engine light's on as well, but like I said, I bought a car that's got 160,000 miles on it, and it's kind of old.
Yeah.
That's the next step is to basically I got 30 days on the tags to get it inspected, and then I'll do
inspection. And when you say inspection, does that mean emission testing or is that something else?
No, it has to go down and go through a full inspection. It's not just emissions. Emissions is part of it. Whenever you license a vehicle and they get a new plate, it has to go through a safety inspection. So they check the brakes, they check the tires, they check everything.
Oh, we don't do that.
Well, to renew my tags moving forward, I won't have to. I'll have to get the emissions done. Okay. But because it's a new set of plates for a car that basically has changed hands, it's got to go through a safety inspection.
Yeah, and maybe I just buy cars from dealerships, so I've never really had to deal with that much. And when I was a kid, I did, but that's about it. Yeah. U.S. you need inspection. Yeah, I've just never gone through one in Arizona.
Yeah, on the East Coast, they're pretty common. It's literally not. It's not very intrusive. It's not massive expensive.
They just don't want you driving. Well, be honest with you,
they prefer you not be driving.
There are some cars that shouldn't be on the road, and there's some cars that shouldn't be on the road.
But in 2 years, I won't have to do the emissions for it anymore because it'll be over 20. But every car, when you put new plates on it, goes through a quick safety inspection.
I live in a terror. I do live in a terror.
That's not untrue. So, but yeah, so I got that all sorted out.
Why don't you have to do? You don't have. You said when the car reaches 20, you don't have to do what?
Emissions.
Really?
Yeah, because there's a certain point.
It's not classified as historical, though.
At 20 years, it is.
Really?
Yeah.
That must just be a you thing, because Arizona, it's not 20.
No, 20 years is if it's 20 years or older, it's considered an antique. Even in Arizona.
What's that make me?
That you and I just effing old. There's a completely different thing.
But is that when you can get historical plates, or is that?
Yeah, well, it's historical plates. It's just considered a historical vehicle.
Oh, I thought it was 30 for
not
some
20.
reason.
It's always been 20 as far as I know.
I'm going to have to look into that because I would love to get that Hummer classified as a historical vehicle and yank all the emissions crap off of it.
Well, now you can't do that.
Oh, damn it. I thought once it goes to historical, you don't go through emissions. So how are they going to know?
Now that's an Arizona thing, because Ohio, you go through emissions if you want to get your plates.
Oh, different thing.
Yeah. Ohio is Maryland's got the 20-year thing. So
yeah, I don't think I would ever put historical plates on a car though, because I insurance wise, that probably changes everything.
I have no idea, but I have to tell you something. When I changed my motorcycle insurance from Arizona to Maryland, I got a 75% reduction. Yeah. I never realized how much it was costing me to insure my bike in Arizona.
You know why? No one knows how to drive in Arizona. I drive all day long. That is what I do for a living.
Yeah.
And when I'm in the work truck, I am a different driver. I become like safety driver person because I am a driving blank check for people. Like again, it's a government vehicle. So people love to get hit by government vehicles because guess what? Government just pays out. I've been in 2 accidents in a government vehicle. I've been sued twice because of them. I've been named in lawsuits because of them.
Right. Because
I was driving and they were asking for ridiculous amounts of money, knowing that the government would settle at a lesser dollar amount. One other thing, they're over 20 years, they're considered vintage. Thank you, Aaron. I am vintage. Or well, you're saying over 20. What about over 50? What does that make us? Anyways, so I become a safety driver. I'm like 2 car lengths back at a red light because in case someone smashes into me, I don't want to smash into the person in front of me. I am that annoying driver when I'm at work.
I'm a different driver in a car than I am in a motorcycle.
I bet you are. Yeah. You're probably not used to all the stuff around you.
I'm more aggressive as a motorcycle driver.
Really?
Yeah, because where in a car I can't I can't get out of the way. So I have to make sure I'm not in the way. As far as I can't with a motorcycle. I'm like constantly. I always have a way out. It's like I'll go here, I'll go there, I'll go here. But again, like for example, in Arizona they do lane splitting, which here they don't. They're not allowed to do lane splitting.
I hate it. I think that was the stupidest law.
Yeah, lane splitting is insane. It's crazy.
Stupid.
I even when it's legal for me to do, my motorcycle is 4 feet wide. I don't lane split.
Yeah.
I take over. I occupy my half of that lane, and it's just crazy. But yeah, my insurance went down a bunch.
Well, because you don't have lane splitting.
Lane splitting, and so there's a lot of that here.
And it doesn't. People know how to drive in wet weather. We're out here.
I gotta tell you though, I got Arizona because of the fact they don't have a lot of rain. When it does rain, the roads on a motorcycle, they're like ice.
Yeah.
They get there are times when I was riding that I'd just go along straight and I would hit a slight ripple in the road and I'd feel the bike sliding. It's like, oh boy.
It's insane. It is insane. But I am glad you are part of adulthood.
I am. I got up. I went up, got up yesterday morning and said, I'm going to go to Starbucks. And I went to Starbucks.
Yeah. You no matter what the weather is, well, I guess depending if you get like a blizzard or something really bad, that might restrict you. But for the most part, you can get up, get in your car, go drive to the game store, play some games, come on back home, and you're good to go.
But as soon as I get the oil light situation figured out, I'm probably heading to GameStop next Saturday, because they got a Flames of War tournament going on, and I'm going to partake in their painting stations.
Sweet.
I'm going to go work on some stuff.
It's like 45 minutes from your home.
That's the one that had the big. Yeah, that's the big one. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's about the equivalent of me going to IOG these days.
Yeah.
It's about 45 minutes and it's not because of it's more of the traffic. But it's still about 45. No, that's a different game. I
have birds.
I was thinking Octoon, whatever. The Battlefront put out their new tank game. Octoon Panzer or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I heard Battlefront or
well,
not Battlefront.
Warlord. Warlord. And I was like, people have been talking about. I guess it's getting some traction. I was like, I looked into it. I was like, it looks interesting. It's like crossbred behind. It's like I want to paint a bunch of tanks and push them around the table. I don't want to paint infantry. So,
well, Clash of Steel is what we just Battlefront released, and that's just tanks. It's no infantry.
Yeah, you guys are doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's a 15 millimeter, basically objective based. Yeah. It's built off the Flames of War and the Team Yankee engine.
Right.
But there's no infantry, no aircraft, no artillery. It's just tank on tank.
Good morning, Victor, and I'm glad we are the best thing since G.I. Joe was on TV. Yeah, so it's interesting that they're moving in that direction. It looks like both companies that do World War II games are kind of moving into this non-infantry, let's get some tanks. And I think we've even talked about this before. Like, yeah, I just want to paint tanks.
Well, the other thing about it is when you play 40K, 40K plays much differently than a like, for example, Flames of War.
Right.
Flames of War is very much a combined arms kind of a game. Mm-hmm. And you've got your infantry, your artillery, you've got your mortars, you've got all this different stuff, and they kind of all have to interact and work together. And that makes the game appear more complicated.
Right.
So when someone is getting into a Flames of War type game, which is a historical game, and you got all these different troop types, and you're also painting 15 mil is much different than painting 28 mil.
Yeah, it is.
So it's a Clash of Steel is basically a really good way to basically introduce people to historical gaming without having to deal with all the baggage that comes with it.
A little bit more of a gateway kind of a
gateway game, because the models still need to be built and painted. Yeah. I mean, that kind of thing. But it just gives you a better way, a better chance of getting those people in to play. The other nice thing about Clash of Steel is it's that alternate history version.
Yes, you're doing the monsters
late war Leviathans.
Yeah.
And what we've done is we've kind of World War II stopped in 44, but restarted in 48.
Right.
And so that allows us to put in tanks that aren't available in Flames or in Team Yankee, that people, if they want to, can go online, because I think the PDFs for some of the vehicles are online right now for Late War Leviathan. So if you want to integrate those vehicles that are in Clash of Steel that are not available to you in Flames of War or in Team Yankee, you can decide to use those on your own.
Yeah. Jake's talking, it's hard to make money with a lack of IP, which is true.
It is. Yeah.
There are a lot of great games that were out there that were kind of their own setting, their own world, that just never really grabbed a hold of people and made them successful.
If Games Workshop gets up one morning and says, James Workshop gets up, hey, we need a new tank, and they can design a brand new tank, whatever they want to do with it, and throw it out in a box and say, here it is. World War II. When you're based on history, you can't go, this is the Sherman Mark 8.
Right.
They
all look the same.
And the customer base will freak, if you deviate from that.
But Victor brings up a good point too, though. Dust Tactics and Conflict 47 were able to expand upon the World War II concept, where you still got to play with your World War II model. Because you and I both were big into Conflict.
I love Conflict 47. Yeah. The difference, especially with Dust, that was Dust beginning from the start. This is Dust. When you start off as long as, like, for example, Flames has as a game based on history. When you start, morning, David. When you start trying to add on to that,
it makes it hard.
It makes it hard, especially when a portion of your customer base are hardcore historical buffs.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we got a whole bunch of companies competing for this market these days.
Yeah.
But yes, Warlord is competing in a big market. So is Battlefront.
Yeah.
And it makes it challenging. And again, I think it's just interesting to see the approach, the timing of it all. Because what I was reading about the Octoon or whatever Warlord is calling theirs, it's infantry's card driven. Like you have cards and it's just like, oh, this is interesting.
Right.
So all I got to do is paint up a few tanks, which, hey, I like painting tanks.
Yeah.
And you don't have to paint all the other stuff. But then it's like, but hopefully this does lead to that gateway to get more people into the bolt action, because I know they're coming out with their 3rd edition, which is interesting. Throwing their hats in. Yep.
Yeah, no, it's kind of nice. The nice thing is I'm back selling toy soldiers again, which I've done forever. The nice thing is that when I leave, I leave. I'm not taking any of that home with me.
Well, that's how you keep sanity when you work a job. Unless you're the owner of the business or you're somehow invested in the business. When I go home at the end of the day, I don't do anything with animal control.
I come home and I paint cool stuff like this.
Yeah, look at, what is that? I can't even see it.
This is my Chaos Dwarf for my Chaos Dwarf Blood Bowl team.
Oh, is that a Centaur?
This is Bull Centaur.
Bull Centaur. Okay.
This is from Punga.
Love it.
From my Punga set that I got.
Love it. I'm so, speaking of Warlord, I don't know who made these models.
Okay.
But it took me back to Bolt Action. So these are Stargrave models. So Stargrave is the Frostgrave of sci-fi.
Yep.
And I picked up the box of Stargrave models. So, you got to glue the arms and the head on. And so you get like all the same torsos, but you just do.
Yeah.
When I was putting some together and painting them, I'm like, hey, I'm just going to keep them on the bases on the sprue and just do it all on the sprue. And North Star, yes, North Star's making, but they just took me back to the Bolt Action days. But I just kept them on all the bases come on like sheets of 10.
Right.
I was like, I'll just do it all on. I did like half of them, so I had room to move, to paint around the. I'm like, this is actually the best way.
It's not bad.
This is a very fun way to paint these models because, like, I've got the squad. I'm going with red shirts or red jackets.
Right.
Not that I'm saying they're going to get shot and killed or anything like that. I'm not trying to say it has anything to do with Star Trek, but I'm just batch painting the models all on the, like, these guys are all going to be painted the same, except this one dude. He's my medic, so he's going to be like a white. I'm going to say off-white,
right?
Kind of clothing, but yeah, just thought it was fun.
Yeah, I have been fighting it, but when I was at Battlefront the first time, I played U.S. Armored Rifle, and I really enjoyed playing it. And once you learn the nuance of playing Armored Rifle, it was a lot of fun. And I sold all that when I left, but I just recently rewrote the list and ordered a bunch of stuff at Battlefront to rebuild my like I need another army.
I didn't even think, Victor, thank you for reminding you. May the 4th be with you too. I totally forgot today was
May 4th.
May 4th. Well, probably because I'm turning 54 this year, so I was trying to block out 4s from my mind.
I'm trying to reset my focus on my camera.
You're all out of whack.
I am. I'm all out of whack.
And I'm not fuzzy this time, so go figure that one.
Mine's just out of focus. Mine's not my internet. Mine's just out of focus.
Yeah.
Because I can't.
Where's your Star Wars?
Really moving around and testing my camera.
I do have Star Wars Legions. I did not get into Shatterpoint. Legions is, to me, is a good game. I just never got into the Shatterpoint.
I don't know why.
Monday. Well, happy birthday. It's Victor's birthday this Monday. He will be turning 26 because I have dyslexia and I'm trying to make you feel special. He'll be turning 26. Cinco de Mayo and his birthday.
Yeah, there you go.
Victor's going to have a busy day on Monday, but happy birthday, buddy.
Yeah. 54.
Those are childish years.
I remember them days.
Yeah, it's just 1 year close to retirement, buddy.
Well, no, it was 51.
What's that?
I was trying to think of what if it was 51 that I had my aorta decided to go. I'm done. Actually, my kids call it my second birthday.
Yeah,
but I call it the day that my warranty ran out of my aorta.
Heron's mentioning today is free comic book day. There is a comic book store in our city. I've been to
there's one or two. Yeah.
Well, I'm talking in Surprise.
Okay, yeah.
In the city of Surprise, we have one comic book store. I don't even know the name because up on their header, like on the building, it just says comics. Like they didn't even put their name up there.
Those are the best type of stores.
Yeah, like I know what I'm getting when I go there, and then you go in and it's all bobblehead things or the Funko.
I actually found one of my most prized possessions in comics, and I was there was a little store in DeGraff that carried. They were kind of a surplus store. You just walk in, you could sell stuff, and they'd have army pants and everything. And they had a comic rack, and above the door it said comics. So I thought, I'm going to go in there. And I walked in, I'm looking through all their old comics. And I pulled this comic out, and I went, you've got to be kidding me. And it was Incredible Hulk, number 118, first appearance of Wolverine.
Ooh.
And I'm like, no. And I'm going, It wasn't in mid shape, but it was in good shape. So I walked up and I said, I go, what do you want for this? She goes, oh, I didn't mark that. And she grabs it and she grabs this gigantic Sharpie. And I'm, no. Just give me a price. Don't mark up the comic. Because I noticed that all of them had like 25 cents or 10 cents marker on the cover. And she hadn't got to that batch yet. But I got it for $1.
Oh.
Yeah, I bought the first appearance of Wolverine for $1 in a thrift store that had the word comic above the door.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. What now? Is that one of the ones you had to sell?
No, actually, that's one of the ones that's sitting in a bag in a box that is secret.
Is it Joe's? Is it 181 or 118?
181 or 118. But it is definitely the first appearance of
surplus stores and Y2K. Victor, we were talking about Y2K earlier today when we were talking about Mordheim, and we're going to get back to that conversation. midnight hit and nothing happened. People, I don't think people were collecting toilet paper back then.
No, they were here. They were here. Yeah, people were all gearing up.
Yeah, people were gearing up, but for me, it was I was hopeful that the system would crash, but I didn't know More Time had a tie-in to Y2K.
It does.
That is basic. Were they, because GW had a sense of humor back in the day. Like I mean, sarcastic sense of humor back in the day. They were not afraid. It was just a different time, different management, a different company. They were still a very, I guess we could say, small company back then.
Right.
80s, 90s. They were just kind of finding their roots and building their empire, because they are a billion, I'm assuming $1 billion a year company now. But there was a tie-in to Y2K for More Time. I'm like, I didn't know that. And that's the whole concept behind basically the game. Like, it's not a campaign game. It's not an RPG game. It's got RPG elements, but it's really not the RPG style game. Basically, just roadside picnic. Go into the quarantine zone, get some stuff, and come back out and make money. But it's all based on the end of the world, and it was all, I guess, it came out in '99.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
So it had, and again, I learned all this watching Ash over at Gorilla Miniatures. He did a really cool deep dive into More Time. If you don't know anything, again, wasn't my game. Like, I didn't play it. Like, oh my gosh, gonna go play More Time. It was one of those things. Like, somebody would be at the shop and they would run a More Time game, and you would just jump in and jump out type thing. But yeah, I didn't know that. Were you around? Was that your time?
I was at GW when I sold it when it first came out.
It was like, how did it do? Like,
it did good. It was done very, very well. More Time was actually very well accepted by the customer base. It did really, really well. It was. You know, we talked about it more along the lines of it was Necromunda for fantasy.
Oh, well,
yeah. And remember at that point in time, what we were told by Games Workshop is the reason they had Mordheim, Necromunda, all these Battlefield Gothic. They basically want to have our customer base would be able to have a break from 40K or fantasy, but still keep themselves in our respective universes. So.
Aaron's talking about, in recent weeks out here, a local store had dollar sale on all kinds of readers' copies of comics and mixture of vintage and modern issues. So, which reader copy of Conan the Barbarian issue 14 was first appearance of Michael Moorcock's Elric in its very cool for $1? Yeah. What's with the game Necromancy? More Time? Am I dragging? I'm dragging. More Time. It's just bad because it's the 25th anniversary.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why people are talking about it. I guess I didn't know why it was popping up in my feed so much. But yeah, so if you have a chance, give it a read. Just watch Ash's video. It's just a fascinating.
I'll check it out today.
It's interesting. Like, again, GW, they kind of talk about it being a change in GW after that game came out. Like, there was a shift in the business. Like, again,
that's not untrue.
Yeah, they're just more success, and again, they went doing what they do best.
From my perspective, they went back to shit crazy. But
I didn't want to say that.
It was about then.
Was it about then?
Yeah.
1992.
I was in that. I was in that upheaval and all that. That's when things started getting weird. So.
Yeah. Joe was talking to me earlier this week about Dreadball, and that brought back some memories. Dreadball is that Mantic's version of, I don't want to say Blood Bowl because it doesn't play.
It's their version of a sporting type
game. They did have the models for the orcs were really nice.
Yeah,
I really like the models for the orcs, and but
I just got a commission for a beautiful Manic set. Actually, because I'm not a big Manic fan, their metals and their resins can be.
You have a different experience with them for sure.
It made me twitch, but I've just picked up Dungeon Saga Origins, which is I think I Kickstarter.
That's their answer to Warhammer 1995.
Because the thing has got beautiful plastic models in it. They're gorgeous.
Yeah, you just got the models, right?
No, I've got the whole game.
Oh, you got the whole game?
Yes, I'm doing
What version of the game did you get? The big collectors?
I didn't get it.
Well, the commission job.
Commission guy did. Got
He got the big collector's box. Yeah.
The legendary edition.
Yeah. I looked at that. It is a Warhammer Quest style game.
Yep.
One of the things, and you probably might have noticed this when a lot of bookcases. If he got them, I don't know if he got the expansion with all the bookcases.
I'm sure he did.
There's a lot of bookcases in that game. I'm like, this is weird, but
I'm looking forward to painting it.
Yeah, no, they look
96 models.
Yes, they have gotten better, but they're still not.
The metal and the resin, I have had 2 commissions with Mantic metals, and I've yet to have a box set that hadn't been mispacked.
Yeah.
And the fits are not great. Now, all part of it also is I haven't worked consistently with metal models in years.
You mean your skill set might be a little rusty?
Yeah, it could be a little rusty on my end because, like I was one of those guys. I'll never have plastic models in my miniature. I like that weight. Like, what was I thinking?
Oh my gosh, I struggle today to pick up and take in my Gaslands toolbox for playing Gaslands. The weight. And I don't have a lot of metal miniatures in there. Like I have my Hot Wheels in there, but I don't have I remember back in the day, this toolbox, the one that I still carry, used to carry all of my metal miniatures for Warhammer Fantasy. And I'm like,
right.
I must have gotten really weak over the years, or I don't know. Maybe I just didn't. I don't remember carrying such a heavy toolbox. But now, when I go to play Gaslands and I pick up my toolbox, I'm like, God, this thing's heavy. Why am I carrying this big metal? But that's how we used to do it back in the day.
When I went to Adepticon, I didn't have any foam trays that my converted like Thunderwolves would fit in.
Right.
So I bought. Battle Foam does those magnetic trays you can put into their bags.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought when I was down at games and stuff. They had one that fit the bag that I have, and I bought that.
Right.
And then I've just magnetized the bases of all my wolf spear and put them in there. They fit in great. My biggest complaint was how heavy that bag had become because I've got these. They're plastic frame, but these nice big magnetic trays. There's 4 of them. And it really made the bag heavy. And I'm lugging it around Adepticon going, I used to do this on a regular basis, where I lug around metal models, but yeah, no. Yeah.
Well, at one point I talked to you about, and I'm always thinking about different ways to improve the convenience of, hey, JP.
Hey.
You live from
Rio Grande, Ohio. Ooh, Rio Grande, Ohio.
Hey, very cool. Very cool.
He's back in my old stomping ground, back in Ohio.
So I'm always thinking of better ways to make our hobby convenient. Yes, that means I modify things.
Okay.
Make it fit my purpose. Just like my gaming table. I bought my gaming table. I'm going to modify my gaming table to make it fit my purpose.
You're the only guy I know that also puts in the rating when he's rating a new game. What quality was the box it comes in?
Quality of box is important too.
The game can be complete crap, but if the box is solid,
comes in a good box. Hey, you can make the crappiest game in the world. If you put it in like a wooden box, I would be a champion of that game, and I would just buy it for the box. So,
but this fits in what you're saying. Modifying, you're always thinking ahead.
So I go to these junk sales, junk in the trunk, these crafting vintage, whatever you want to call them, kind of sales, because they're a mixed mash of people selling old junk and crafting stuff and new stuff and old stuff, all kinds of different stuff. There used to be a vendor that would go to one of these shows, and he sold used airline jet components. So he had a contact at probably because there's a salvage yard in Arizona where they retire old Boeing jets and things like that. And he would sell the cart that the crew would push down the beverage cart or the food cart pushed it down. And I saw a couple of those. I'm like, that would be perfect for the game store. And I could rent these out when people came to the events, and they could put all their crap on there. There'd be trays inside. You could put, because they had serving trays. So there was a door that would open. It'd be full of like just a little piece of the menu. You could put serving trays in there. There was space on the top. I'm like, but they were expensive.
They are, yeah.
Well, and then I'd need permission from Darren to do that in his store. So what I ended up doing is they used to buy, they had warming boxes. So these are aluminum warming boxes. I have two of them. I have a smaller one and a larger one. I'm like, I'll do the same thing. I'll just make it a personal carry. I'll just put metal trays in there, and I would magnetize my thing just like they were doing with the Battlefront, like you were doing. And I did it, and then I picked it up. I'm like, oh, that's too heavy.
But back when it was all metal, I would lug around a full case. It didn't bother me. I know.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, as we age, we've gotten weaker. Our back hurts too much to carry. Yeah.
You want to go through? I don't have a lot of picks.
Okay.
But let's knock those out real quick.
Let's knock out some of these.
I'm actually real excited because JP got rockets and posted some stuff up.
Oh, sweet.
And so I think that is actually pretty cool. So we don't have, this one though, I actually brought in. Like, apparently, this is a piece of artwork that David's daughter did.
No way.
And his comment was he's trying to figure out a way to blackmail his daughter into painting his miniatures. But I thought that was amazing, so that's why I'm including it. But again, it's not just about painting miniatures, it's about being creative. But his comment, check it out. It's in the "What's to Do with Mike and Jeff" section at the top.
I must have missed that one.
He's trying to figure out how he could convince his daughter to paint his miniatures.
I would say with kind words and generous gifts,
I'd go straight to cash.
Well, I'm trying not to be so blunt about it.
I remember a conversation with my wife and I back in the day. She was very upset because I wasn't doing enough around the house to help her, and she was true. I wasn't. I was working all the time, and I go, okay, well, tell me what you want me to do. And she goes, well, you can help with laundry. And I said, okay, great. And I literally, right then and there, I spun around and said, Kiri, and hollered out for my oldest daughter. She came walking in the kitchen. She goes, what? I go, you want to make $20 a week? I think it was 15. And she goes, sure. And I said, you do laundry now. And I turned around to Cheryl and I go, does that work? And she goes, that's not what I meant. I said, you told me you wanted laundry done. Yeah. I have delegated that responsibility to my oldest daughter, who, by the way, is more than old enough to do chores around the house and anything else, because I will just delegate my rear end off.
Yeah.
And she just got very, very angry.
So Dave's saying kind words and begging has not worked. He might have to go straight to cash. You might just have to hire her as a commission. Now, color theory wise, I love the colors. The choices in colors that she used, what the greens and it looks like an off-white or yellowish white. Just that would make an actual sick looking army.
Have her paint her Tyranids first.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
No, yeah. I went straight to cash because that just works best and just saves the hassles.
And that's a composition of everything. Like you got the zoomed in view on the wing on the bottom, and then you got the wings spread out, and then the wings closed up. Fabulous. Tell your youngin that we all love her work, and
she's incredibly talented.
Her to keep moving forward with it. Absolutely. Because that is amazing.
Incredibly talented, my friend.
Yes,
but yeah, if you want her to paint your models, go to cash.
Yeah, go cash.
Yeah,
just
that'll be the quickest and easiest way. And then we get into the stuff that JP put up.
Look at this
rockets. Good stuff.
And we were just talking more time. Like these could be more time models. Yeah, look at that. Love it.
That's the Roper there.
Love it.
Yeah, absolutely great stuff.
Just love it. Look at that.
I love the eye work. This was fantastic. Well done.
It looks like there's a gloss coat over it, but you added a little bit of the white to do the reflection.
Yeah, it works. It works.
And it's not just green. It's like that, like normal eyes would be. It's got like a broken up color to it.
Well done, sir. We're well done.
Yeah,
And that's our outside stuff today. So.
All right. Very cool. I've got some goblins that I'm finishing up, and when I get those finished up, I'll get those posted on it.
I'm working on a project right now that I can't share pictures yet.
Yeah, until you get permission.
Until I get permission. And then I've also got some I was going to put all my work in progress stuff like my Bjorn. Okay, with my Wolf Spear, because they're under the Space Wolf Codex, I can use named characters in my Wolf Spear.
Okay.
So like Bjorn the Fell-Handed. I can put a Bjorn the Fell-Handed into my Wolf Spear, but he's not Bjorn.
Okay.
So I'm currently working on my conversion because I had this gut feeling that when that either the Space Wolves are coming out at the end of 10th or at the beginning of 11th. But I'm fairly certain there's a new Bjorn model coming, which will hopefully be bigger than the little Tide Pod size model.
And Joe gets back to painting on Monday. About time, Joe. I'm glad you're doing better and that you're going to get to hit the painting desk.
So I was going to put those up, but right now I'm doing a project that I got to get done. It's kind of a got to get it done quickly. Then I got to get on other stuff, but I'll probably have more stuff to start posting soon of my own here. So.
Well, I want to hear more when you get to it, the commission work you did on Dungeon Saga, because it is a game I looked at.
Yeah.
Again, I think we've talked about it. I'm doing my own DIY Warhammer Quest 1995 version. I spent the week cutting all the character cards out and all the weapons and stuff for a bunch of them, because there is a guy out there that has been keeping that game alive, like so many other Games Workshop games that they don't make anymore, that they've left their product line. And I think Warhammer Quest is one of those games that falls in a very weird category because they didn't really own Warhammer. Like Warhammer Quest was like this Avalon Hill Hasbro, like this is a weird relationship with Hero Quest and Warhammer.
Well, yeah, that was the game they licensed Hero Quest out to Milton Bradley.
Yeah, that's it, Milton Bradley.
Yeah, it was Milton Bradley. And then Warhammer Quest was their version of it.
Yeah, it felt
there was some differences between the two. We used to play Warhammer Quest like for the longest time. I think it was every Thursday night, and Timmy was in that game. We would play that every night. It was awesome. Every Wednesday. Wednesday or Thursday night was awesome.
Well, there's a guy who's been keeping it alive. He's written fan base material, and just like Blood Bowl back in the day, he's updated the character packs and there's always, when a game's been out long enough, there's always some things that have gone on. So he's kept a fan base alive. There's a thriving community. I've been making my own, but I looked at Dungeon Saga because Ronnie doesn't drift too far from the original.
All I've had a chance to look at it is the actual models, and the models are gorgeous.
And I've only seen them kind of on video, and as well, doing videos of miniatures is hard. Trying to make them look like where you can see the detail and you can get the actual colors. And
I guarantee starting sometime right around the beginning of June, I'll start posting pictures.
All right. I can't wait because I'm interested. It caught my attention, but I just didn't. It's not what you've got is like the Kickstarter version of it,
right.
And they're going to do a retailer version of it where it's actually going to be broken down a little bit. I guess there's going to be like chapter books, kind of like they did before.
Yeah, there's an insane. Like I said, there's 96 models in that box.
Yeah,
and so I have two Dark Angel commissions. Well, one Dark Angel commission, but two big box sets. But if I got a Custodes commission, I got to finish up for Todd. I got Carlos's sisters. I got to finish up, which are actually both pretty close to being done. I should have those done by the end of this month at the latest. And then I will also have the Dark Angel project pretty close to done. So sometime end to mid-June, I'll start working on the Saga one.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be awesome.
I agree 100%.
And then in the meantime, trying to find ways to finish my Wolf Spear, and then start my my regular spec. Because I've written a new Space Wolf army that I'm gonna go with. Well, now that I know the rules. It's amazing how much easier it is to write a list once you start realizing how the rules work.
It's kind of like cart, horse. Which one do you put first? Like you got to make a list to play the game to learn the rules. Like
right.
it's not learn the rules, but learn how the rules interact with gameplay.
Miniature war game is about exploiting the rules to to your favor and to your opponent's detriment. It's the best, that's the best way to do it. But yeah, in my new Space Wolf army is even more model heavy than my Wolf Spear. So, and the other thing is the nice thing about the difference between the two is my Wolf Spear allows me to play all the Primaris stuff.
Okay.
Even though I'm using Primaris models in my Space Wolf army, it's all what used to be considered firstborn stuff.
Okay.
As far as the troop types go.
Gotcha.
So it's not intercessors and heavy intercessors. It's Blood Claws, Grey Hunters, Long Fangs.
I'm using classic army construction.
Yeah, but I'm using Primaris models to represent them because I don't want to have these little midget models now running around.
Yes, we don't want midgets on the table, I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah, I didn't mean midgets as in midget. I meant midgets as in small.
Small models.
Small models.
We should make chibi ones. So I'm going to break this. 3D print, David, larger heads, and use the old models, put the larger heads on them to make like chibi Space Marine army.
That'd be cool. That'd be very cool.
I think it might break some people.
Well, that was the thing that when I first saw, because there's another game I want to paint stuff for, which is Star Trek Away Missions.
Isn't that what they did?
They're kind of chip. They're not full chibi.
No.
They're definitely animated looking characters.
Yes.
And initially, I went, what is up with these models? Then I played the game and got to look at them. I said, these models actually are really nicely detailed, and I like the fact they got kind of an animated, almost like a Lower Decks kind of a style.
That's a good way to put it.
So that's another game I want to get stuff painted for. And then I've got my zombie side Fantastic Four. I've got my zombie side Thundercats. I got too much stuff to paint.
And now you got a car, so we're going to add a new equation to this mix. So before, you just did commission painting. Then you got a job, so now that cut into your time. But on your free time, you still stayed home and did a lot of painting. Now you've got to add in this new influence of having a car as an adult.
Well, I have installed the painting table in the passenger seat.
Oh, okay. Never mind. You've come up with a
traffic lights. I can simply slide it over and paint away, and then slide it back.
Yeah. So now you've got to add in like the influence of now I have the freedom, no matter the weather outside, to drive for. And driving 45 minutes after a while isn't that hard because you can listen to music, you find other distractions.
Well, yeah, I'm also from an area of the country that if you wanted to go to the grocery store, it's a 30-mile drive across the country. Because I lived rurally. I lived out in the middle of nowhere.
I don't know anything about your like for me, the grocery store's down the street.
I finished when you said I don't know anything about your, and my brain went, I don't know anything about your rural ass country living.
Because you know me well. What did Victor say? Yeah, Star Trek Away mission models look better on table painted than they do.
Yeah, when I first saw them, I'm like, well, these are weird, but the game is good, and I'm going to enjoy painting the heck out of it.
Well, and I'm toying around with this idea of maybe like looking at Mordheim a little bit closer, not necessarily saying I'm going to play it, but it's just interesting. It's just got my attention right now. And again, I'm probably just going to read the rules.
Is it Conquest that you're all?
Again, that's a whole.
I know. I'm going to keep poking the because that's the one you said I'm going to get these guys done this year.
I didn't say I'm going to done. I'm going to
get. That's what I heard. That's what I'm holding you to.
I'm going to get working on them. But I got something. Well, that's also interesting. Are you familiar with battle systems?
I am.
The cardboard terrain system. Like they've been around for a while. They're not new, but they actually put together a Mordheim bundle box. Like they're literally labeling it for Mordheim because Mornine came with cardboard buildings when it first got released. So they're literally tying in that nostalgia to, like, you want to play Mornine, here you go. Here's the cardboard terrain. And they got new buildings and ruined buildings. So you got both. So you can mix and match, because the whole idea is that comet hit the earth and destroyed everything.
Yeah. So London was the same way, but you had those plastic girders you could insert all the cardboard into and build it that way.
Yeah. So they're kind of tying into that a little bit and market. I love it. They're like picking up on the nostalgia and going, here you go. We made something for you. They could have labeled that just generic fantasy terrain, but they actually labeled it Mornine. Here you go.
Yeah, all this conversation now just remind. I've got all this kill team terrain over here, but I'm gonna have to just find a hole and just paint. Just go hermit.
Nope, because now you got a car and you have the freedom to go to the shop. Like as soon as you get your oil light thing figured out, which we'll hear about next week.
The biggest impact the world is going to see from me having a card is Amazon's going to go, hey, we're shipping less product to Elkton.
They're going to see a drop in sales.
What happened?
You're going to have an actual impact on $1 billion a month company.
They're going to notice that Elkton's business went down substantially.
They're going to have they're going to have to shut down the warehouse in Elkton because they don't have the sales to support it because Jeff got a car.
I get so many deliveries from Amazon, and it's not just gaming stuff. I order everything through Amazon because I don't have a car.
Yeah,
and my neighbor even commented about a week and a half ago. He goes, "You get a lot of Amazon deliveries." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't have a car, so everything I need I find on Amazon. And if it says next day or better, I'm ordering it, so I don't have to wait."
I'm out of toothpaste. And here's the thing that's interesting about Amazon is you just buy one thing, shipping's free because you probably have Prime.
I absolutely have Prime.
So I don't really care about bundling savings for shipping. Like normally, like when I go to buy something, shipping is actually a factor in do I buy this or not? Because sometimes shipping is more expensive than the product itself. But on Amazon Prime, I don't have to worry about that. So, and they've gotten smart to where they're watching your buying habits more. And they're trying to bundle your stuff into one box to save the cardboard and the plastic and all the stuff they use for shipping. So they've been, because I had a package delivered yesterday because we are on an auto delivery with Amazon.
Right.
So we get our cat litter auto delivered from Amazon. And I ordered a book to read, and they put the book inside the box with the cat litter and shipped it to my house with my book inside of it. And I'm like, oh, that was nice of them.
I'm having technical issues. My monitor's gone dead.
Uh-oh. Like you can't see me?
I can't see anything.
So if I'm doing obscene things to you right now, visually, you can't see me?
That doesn't matter.
Well, just so you know, on my end, you are visually appealing.
Well, thank you for that. My lower monitor. I think I might have, because I'm constantly shifting.
Did you click on the cord?
I think I might have unplugged my monitor.
Oh no, so we're not good at pressing buttons, and we're not good at keeping.
There we go.
Hey, look at us.
The HDMI cord I have from my monitor is like 47 bazillion years old, and I might have kicked it because I'm constantly moving because of my back.
What shirt do you have on?
I have my War Games Live shirt.
Okay, every time the shirt's just a little bundle, I'm like, what is that? I couldn't make it out.
War Games Live.
Yeah, look at you.
It's my Saturday, Sunday stream. I run that stream while I'm painting because I can listen to 40K games going on and you pick up little tidbits here and there.
You're absorbing the rules through watching.
Yeah, I mean, I would not recommend anyone trying to learn a system by watching streaming. But what it does let me go, because now that I have a basis and I've played like 6 games now. When I listen to the stream now, I can see how certain rules interact with each other.
Yeah.
So I can get some tactic ideas.
Very cool. So I think I might buy a box of that battle train or battle skate, whatever they're calling them.
Yeah.
Battle systems. I just want to see like printing. So that the concept of cardboard terrain and clips are not new. It's been around a while, but the technology has improved tremendously since then.
Yeah.
And printing qualities are better and materials are a little bit better, but they can make clips better. because I had some of that stuff, something like that before. It was like some sewers, and the clips were terrible, and so it'll be interesting. I'm thinking, oh, I might get. And again, storage wise, I build all my little buildings, put them all on my table, so I got my 3D terrain. Yay! And then when I'm done, I take it all apart. I put it back in a box, and I put a box, and I don't have to have all these. Like I've got the Great Hall for a Viking game. Things on a 2x3 board or some 2x2 board. It's on a big board. I'm like, yeah, I don't play that game.
That's a gorgeous kit, though.
Yeah, Gordon. That's why I haven't gotten rid of it. But it's like, what do you do with this stuff? Like, but I like this idea. Like, build it, put it away. Build it, put it away. Just interesting. I just want to take a look at it and see.
I don't blame you.
I live in that kind of a world where
yeah.
Well, now I got a gaming table.
Awesome.
Now I got a gaming table. So,
now you can invite people over to play games.
No.
I didn't think so.
No, not gonna happen. I play solo.
If you want proof, watch Solitary RPG. It's on YouTube. It's a pretty good show. I watch it every week.
Yeah. So that's what I do. I go solo. So
I haven't had time. I got so much painting going on. Like Greg keeps calling me like twice a week on, hey, do you want to play this? Do you want to play that? Because then I get online to play. I'm like, dude, I'm really sorry. I don't have time.
I guess Dave's coming over. David's coming over. Dave, if you're coming over, you better bring some food because I'm hungry.
Pierogies, dude.
Pierogies. Give me my pierogies. So I can't wait. Come on over.
There's another thing that we had, another side effect of me being all grown up now.
What's that?
I also got my Maryland license.
Ooh.
Maryland is a real ID license. So I can play again.
You couldn't fly before?
No, after 9/11. Well, here's the thing. After 9/11, they implemented a new ID system.
Yeah.
And they implemented it to all the states had to be converted to that, or they wanted all the states to be converted to this by 2023.
Yes.
And my Arizona license isn't real ID. My Maryland license is. So I'm still planning on coming out this fall for a couple weeks.
Still not coming over.
That's not what I said. I have accepted a long time ago that you just don't invite people over.
Right.
I'm fine with that. So, but I'll be back in Arizona.
Very cool. So we'll be able to hang out.
The only downside about that is Heidi's isn't around.
That is sad. We'll have to find a new.
We'll just have to go to our fallback, which was Fuddruckers.
Fuddruckers is out of business too.
Come on.
The one we went to. I don't know if maybe they've kept their stores open on the east.
I wonder if the one on Black Canyon still around.
It's gone too.
Holy cow! Where's the world going?
Yeah, Fuddruckers is gone. We'll have to find a new place. That now, Andy and I we'll go to Culver's every once in a while. There's Portobello's.
There's also what is that one? The one we used to go to for breakfast.
Black Bear.
Black Bear.
Yes, that's still around.
And there's always our fallback, the Denny's down the street.
Yeah, but Denny's was only good because of our waitress.
She was great.
She was amazing, and she knew us. Like every time after the show on Saturdays, we went to Denny's. We'd sit down. She knew pretty much we ordered the same thing every time.
And we always made sure we got her station, and we were lost when she wasn't there. So.
Betty, right?
Betty, I think that.
Yeah. And last time we went, she wasn't there, and the service sucked. Oh no, Fuddruckers had such good.
Depressing.
Yeah.
It's just fun to say.
Times have changed, buddy, and Fuddruckers was never really a big. They had stores, but they weren't a big store. Now they may have kept some of the stores on the east side, and maybe sales on the west side just wasn't because they were. The Black Canyon one kind of was off the beaten path. There was nothing. Metro Center wasn't the same. It was kind of off outside of that realm. And the one at Arrowhead, well, there's so many other options at Arrowhead. So maybe they kept some of their east side. So I'll have to look them up. But Tim told me about it one day.
But no, I wasn't bringing up my being able to travel as in I'm going to Mike's house.
I just had to throw it out there.
I can take that off my bucket list real quick.
Scratch that one right off the list, buddy.
The sad part is when you're from Ohio one of your bucket lists is eventually get to the moon. And that one's still on my bucket list. But getting invited to Mike's house, I had to pull off my bucket list. You're like, that's an impossibility. I have better odds of getting on the next shuttle to the moon than I do of getting invited to Mike's house.
Well, there's a chance you could get invited to the shuttle. There's not a chance in hell you're coming to my house.
And here's the thing: it's not because Mike and I aren't good friends. It's because Mike just doesn't like inviting people to his house.
Nope. Tim came over once. That's it.
And that's maybe twice. The thing about it was I knew that before we even talked about it. So
there's always cold burgers and cheeseburgers.
Cold beer and cheeseburgers. Yes, I will have to check that out. So.
Yes. They're opening one up by our house. Is it called? I thought it was just beer and cheeseburgers. I could be wrong. Or brew and cheese.
Is that burger place next to IOG still open, or did they go away?
They gone.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how.
I didn't like that place.
They were okay. They were.
And it was okay. I'll give you okay.
Well, what I mean by okay is that if I needed food to survive,
okay, yes,
that would qualify.
Yeah.
Would I go out of my way to get it like I would with Heidi's?
No, we would. Heidi's was like we did the tournaments, and one of us would run over. Well, usually me because you were running the tournament.
How you run that? You go to Heidi's.
I'd pick up everybody's food. I'd bring it all back to the store. We'd sit down. We'd eat our food. You would get your ham and cheese sandwich on white bread with just ham and cheese.
Mayo.
Yeah. I would get one of the things, again, this is old man talk now. I would literally just walk up and go, make me a sandwich. Which one? I don't care. Make me a sandwich. And I would just go pay for it.
I am all about our get out of your comfort zone motto until it comes to food.
What is
falafel place?
Falafel place. What?
There's a falafel place that took the place of the burger place. I'm assuming.
I haven't been to it.
I've never had falafel.
What is a falafel?
It's something.
Well, it's
here's my history of falafels. They mention it in the first Batman.
Okay, I'm gonna go with it's some sort of a bread.
Yeah, it's something.
I don't know. Anyways,
again, see, I don't know that because I don't step out of my comfort zone when it comes to food.
See, and I'm the complete.
Can't you tell?
And I'm the complete opposite. Well, that's just what I loved about Heidi's, though. It was a small family-owned business. Looking on the website, apparently there are 2 Fuddruckers locations left in the state. One in Mesa Superstition Springs and one located in Glendale, which is temporarily closed. The one in Glendale would be the one at Arrowhead, and you're saying they're temporarily closed. So that
could be remodeling.
Could be remodeling. So let's hope that's the case. I drive up and down Bell, and I don't see cars out there. So we'll see what happens because that could be hopeful. That could give me a glimmer of hope in my life.
We got a few months to plan.
We got some months.
It's really sad what we're talking about on my trip out. Not what events you're going to be running, not what games you're going to play. We're talking about where the hell we're going to eat.
What's new with Mike and Jeff in their menu choices? But that's what you're rugged in what you eat. Like every time we went to Denny's, you ate the same thing.
I find something I like. I don't like. And I used to not be that way. I've had rattlesnake. Well, of course, I grew up where you go to a friend's house, you go squirrel hunting, then you go to a friend's house to eat squirrel. Hunt squirrel. I've had rattlesnake. The only thing I've never eaten that I've had a chance to is tarantulas. I just do it away. Yeah.
No, you don't eat tarantulas.
I've had rattlesnake. I've had. Squirrel's phenomenal. Rabbit's really good. Turtle's fantastic.
We had friends.
We did have an entire show based on how much we love cereal.
Yeah, maybe maybe we're both hungry.
That was a fun show. I had a ball.
I had a blast on that show. I loved just sitting there eating cereal, looking at it.
I gained 40 pounds, but it was worth it.
Well, all the bad cereal has been consumed, and now I'm back to just my Raisin Bran Crunch in the cabinet.
My
adult food.
My granddaughter and I were at the grocery, and I went past the cereal aisle, and she goes, "Pop, you got a cereal?" I said, "I know, that was a one-time thing."
Just keep on walking.
And then I stopped and went, "It's a one-time thing."
So, that's hilarious. All right. Well, we're getting to the end of the show. Heron really helped me with some real life issues, knowing that Fuddruckers is only temporarily closed.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out. Yeah.
Let's hope it opens up soon. Monster cereals and Halloween, yes, they will. We'll have a Halloween cereal special, but it'll have to wait till October. But yeah, it'll be kind of cool if that opens, because that is so. In a marriage, you're familiar with this. There are certain thresholds in a marriage that cause combustion between the blissfulness of a home, and Fuddruckers is ours. My wife hates Fuddruckers.
Didn't you work there for a while?
Yeah, oh yeah. After high school, I worked there for a couple of years.
Why does she hate Fuddruckers?
Just she doesn't like it. I don't know. She doesn't like the fries.
I thought there might be something specific about it. Not her favorite place to dine.
She doesn't like dining there.
Can totally get that. Can totally understand that.
With a passion.
I have mine. They're right there.
And this is one of those things that it happens. Where do you want to eat? Just pick a place. I don't care. Tell me where you want to eat. I don't care. Well, you never pick any place, right? Because every place I pick, you're gonna
poo poo anyway.
She's like, well, just pick place. Fuddruckers, no. It's called a marriage. It's a lot.
Absolutely. My ex-wife and I still get along fairly well. And so one of the things her and I have just been getting together on occasion to go do some stuff that we both enjoy doing. And I said something to her. Oh, I don't go to the movies very often. I don't go to the movies by myself.
Right.
So her and I are going to go see the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming out next week. And it's nothing more than her and I have known each other. We've known each other since high school.
Yeah, you guys are still friends.
And we're still friends. But she's the one that ran me around the city when I was getting all my tag stuff sorted.
Sure.
So she said, I found out, because instead of paying for my gas, buy my ticket to go see this movie. And I went, oh, okay. And I went, does that include snacks at the movie? And she goes, I said, listen, I know for a fact that, if you and I go to the movie together, if I pick the movie, you're going to have the veto power.
Right.
And you're going to say, yeah, let's go see whatever you want to see. I want to go see this. No. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, we're so far past that. I got that. So just here we go. So yeah.
Victor brings up a good thing for Halloween, and I like this because it'll be October,
right?
And we'll do a special with Halloween candy. No candy corn though.
No candy corn. Yeah, that's too easy.
I don't know why we can't have candy corn, but I understand.
There are two Halloween candies. Here's the thing. I complain about candy corn, but it's also, I think the reason I complain about it, if there's a bowl of candy corn sitting next to me, I'll just do this all day.
Yep.
Even though it's candy corn. And Peeps are the other one.
Oh, Peeps are weird though. I can understand. I don't like marshmallow.
Peeps are more Easter candy than Halloween.
Yeah. Well, they try to market it for every holiday.
Quite frankly, the whole candy and Halloween thing is a marketing ploy anyway.
Yes, it's.
I've read several books about exorcism, and there's nothing about exorcising demons that say give them candy and they'll go away.
Give them candy, but it's kind of true. Like if you get people come to your door, so maybe I should do this with door-to-door salesmen. When someone comes knocking to sell me solar or internet or phone, I'm just going to start handing them candy. I'm like, oh, I thought this was Halloween, and I just want you to go away now. Go away.
Better way to do that is just get a little thing that dispenses holy water when you open the door. Go, the power of Christ compels you, and just flashing holy water on them. And they'll probably never come back after that one. But you'll be on a watch list. So
who knows where I'll end up. But I like Victor's. I like where.
Yeah, absolutely.
We should hire Victor as our promo person.
He should be our topics director.
Topics. That's it. Topics. Victor, you keep us on top. Save this for the Halloween episode.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to start planning that now, Victor. So send your suggestions too. So.
I am going to do nothing but eat candy corns.
I'm not for a while.
I like candy corns.
All right. Well, we were saying goodbye, and now we're off on our planning our Halloween show.
We're still months away from that.
The thing about our show, if you and I are entertainers, that's all we really care about. I mean,
there you go. All right, what did he just say? German Shepherd, greet the
there you go. I'm good too.
Give them a run. Yeah. I'll do that. All right, everybody, we're gonna cut out of here. We gotta move on with life. Andy's got things planned for me today, and trust me, I won't get to pick where we go to eat lunch.
I can guarantee it will not be Fuddruckers.
It will not be. Yeah.
Even if they were still open.
Yeah, I guarantee. I agree 100% with that. All right, everybody, we're going to get out of here, and we will see you all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. So, bye.
The intro, not.